These might be the most surprising shoe of the year. One of the biggest criticism of Jordan brand over the last few years has been that the brand seems to not really do much besides giving us retros. It got to a point where every single week we knew that there was another Jordan 1 or Jordan 4 colorway dropping. And while I don't think that there's much that Jordan brand can do to change that perception of it being a retro brand, I think these shoes right here, the Jordan 4 RM, are one of the best new models that the brand has put out in quite a long time. And I picked up the first 4 colorways that dropped. In this video, I'll be telling you everything you need to know about the Jordan 4 RM. So first things first, what does RM even stand for? Well, it stands for Resto Mod, which is a combination of the words restoration and modification. But I think most people are going to refer to these by their unofficial name, which is the Jordan 4 Lows. And before I get into comparing each of these 4 colorways, let's talk a little bit about what exactly makes the Jordan 4 RM different from a regular Jordan 4. First of all, it's the price point. The retail price of the Jordan 4 RM is $150, which is significantly lower than the retail on regular 4s, which go for around $210, and depending on the colorway, some of them go up to $225. The retail price of the RMs are actually even lower than the retail of the grade school version of the regular 4s. And if you guys know your Jordans, then you know that the grade school pairs are typically a much lower quality version of the Jordan 4. So with these RMs, even though that they are a cheaper price than the grade school pairs, you're actually getting a much better quality product. Also, they do call these the Jordan 4 Lows for a reason. They are a much lower cut version of the Jordan 4. So here I'm comparing it to one of the newest colorways of the 4s, which is this white Thunder pair. And you'll notice that the RMs are about, I would say, 1.5 inches lower than the 4s, which personally I'm a huge fan of, because in the summertime, pretty much the only Jordans that I wear are Jordan 1 Lows. Because in my opinion, all of the other Jordan shoes are just a bit too high cut and also a bit too bulky to be wearing with shorts. That's why I really like these, because I think the RMs are a very nice summer shoe. It still gives you that same sporty and casual vibe that retro Jordans have without looking too bulky. And from a looks point of view, the bottom half of the shoe is very familiar. It's got pretty much the exact same sole unit and that air bubble that we see on the 4s, and also that very familiar wavy mudguard. The shoe really starts to get different once you get to the top half. So you'll notice that on the RMs, the very iconic cages and the wings that you normally see on the 4s are missing on this pair. Instead of the cages, what you get is this one TPU piece that wraps itself all around the back half of the sneaker. You still get these wings here, but they are of course a lot different looking. They're kind of like mini wings. Personally, I am a big fan of what Jordan brand did with the upper. I'm happy that they didn't just give us a squished down version of a Jordan 4. Instead, the shoe has more of a unique look. I know a lot of you guys will leave comments like, yeah, these look like some Jordan 4s from Wish or some Temu Jordan 4s, but I do not agree. I actually think the shoe looks like its own thing. In fact, it kind of looks to me more of an SB version of a Jordan 4 than the actual SB 4s, because this shoe almost looks like a skateboarding shoe to me. We actually get this bicycle logo that you see on the heel tab, and you also see the same logo on the boxes, which is surprising to me because I thought that we would only see that logo on the original Nigel Sylvester pairs. But it turns out all 4 of these colorways have that bicycle image there, which suggests to me that is this some kind of Jordan 4 biking shoe? That would be kind of cool actually. I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity that Jordan brand didn't really market these shoes as biking shoes. I gotta say though, one of the most ridiculous looking things about this shoe is this heel tab at the back. It looks ridiculous in my opinion. I think the shoe would have looked better without it. I really like the tongues on these shoes. You'll notice that they are quite a bit shorter than the tongues on the White Thunder pairs, for example. And the tongues as well as the inner lining of the shoe are quite padded, making this quite a comfortable shoe when you have them on feet. Alright, but now let's talk about the 4 colorways of the Jordan 4 RM that did release. 2 of them are men's colorways and these 2 are supposed to be women's, but I did get them in the biggest size available, which seems to be a men's 10.5. And the last time I checked, all these pairs are still available on Nike as of the time of me making this video, so I will leave some links in the description in case you guys are interested in getting them. There are some differences between the women's and men's pairs, which I will be getting into. But first, let me talk about easily my favorite colorway to drop, which is this Legend light brown pair, which almost looks like a light sail color or like a fossil color. It kind of reminds me a bit of the same color you saw on the off-white 4s. Also a lot of Stussy colorways. I think this colorway looks great on this model, and just a general observation about the Jordan 4 RM. So far from all of the different colorways I've seen, including the Nigel pairs, what I can tell is that this shoe seems to look a lot better when you have a single color on the upper of the shoe. That's when the shoe looks the cleanest, like for example this pair and the 2 Nigel pairs, instead of these other colorways that have multiple colors on the upper. And I think when I look at some of the upcoming pairs as well, there's a lot going on those uppers as well, and I just think the shoe looks the cleanest when you just have one color. Getting back to this light brown pair, there's a combination of materials used on the shoe. You have some suede being used on the mudguard of the sneaker, as well as some other panels near the front of the shoe, and then you have some pretty what feels like soft leather on the toe box, and then the tongue of the shoe, as well as the section near the laces that seems to be made out of mesh. And like I was saying earlier, the quality of materials used on this pair is definitely better than what you would get on a grade school Jordan 4. And to me, it's about the same quality of materials you would even get on the regular 4s. So the first difference between the women's and the men's pairs you'll see is on the laces. So these women's pairs, they come with these rope style laces. They're quite thin actually. And throwing these on feet, so I got this in the biggest woman's size possible, which is a men's 10.5 or a woman's size 12, and surprisingly they actually fit me pretty good, even though my true size is a US men's 11, as you guys know. So I went a half size down in these, yet the toe box area seems like there's plenty of room. I would say my feet are slightly on the wide side, so I do feel my toes getting pinched in a little bit on the side, but I think if you have narrow feet you can easily go down half a size in this pair. To give you a frame of reference with other Nike shoes, I go with my true size in all of the Jordan 1s, the 4s. There are some other Nikes where I go a half size down, for example the Blazers as well as the Air Force Ones. These I think you could comfortably squeeze in at a half size down, but if you have wide feet then I would go true to size. Moving on to the next pair, which is this oxidized green colorway, which I'm sure you guys might think looks very familiar. Yeah, it looks very identical to that fence green Nigel Sylvester pair, except that the green on this I would say is a bit more vibrant. And of course the midsole is a different color. You're getting like a white midsole here instead of a black midsole on the other pairs. I know a lot of you guys were saying that this general release colorway even looks better than the Nigel pairs. Personally, I don't agree. I like the black midsole better. However, when you look at the resale prices on those Nigel pairs, which were super limited, I personally don't think those shoes are worth those super high resale prices right now, especially when you can just get these, which achieve pretty much the same thing, except you don't have that little mini swoosh here. From a materials point of view, same materials like the other pair. You have the suede mudguard and the mesh tongue with the leather toe box. And this pair as well, it feels very comfortable on feet, surprisingly, even at a half size down. This is also a woman's pair, so I did get it in a 10.5 men's. In this oxidized green pair, because it is a half size down, I think I would have definitely preferred to go with my true size. But like I said, it's because my feet are slightly on the wider side. But if you have some normal or narrow feet, then I think you can go half down. The next pair we're going to talk about is one of the men's ones. So this is the Canyon Rust colorway, and this is a very unique Jordan 4 colorway because I don't remember a time when I've seen a Jordan 4 with this black toe style color blocking. It's something I'm very used to seeing on Jordan 1s, but I don't think I've ever seen it on a Jordan 4, and I don't know, it looks a bit strange, but maybe I'm just not used to it. Do let me know what you guys think in the comments. And this pair, I got it in my true size, which is a men's US 11. This is a men's pair. The materials are basically exactly the same as the women's pairs, the same materials in the same sections like the leather, the suede, and the mesh on the tongue. There is one difference though, and that is on the ankle collar. So the women's pairs do have a mesh ankle collar, whereas these actually have what feels like some kind of fleece ankle collar. I don't know why exactly they chose to do that. I think I would have preferred to have mesh on there. And the second is the laces. You'll notice how thick these laces are. These remind me of some Nike SB laces. If you don't like the SB style laces, well, this pair does come with some regular flat style laces as well. You got some white ones here. And for sizing on these, so like I said, I got this in my true size, a US 11. Surprisingly, from a width perspective, I don't feel that much different in these these going with my true size compared to going a half size down in the other two colorways. With these as well, you'll notice that there is quite a bit of room in the toe box. So also with the men's version, I think you could probably go a half size down if you have regular feet, but wider feet people like myself, I do prefer going true to size. Yeah, these are pretty comfortable, guys. I don't normally say that about Jordans, but they've actually made a very comfortable shoe here. And the last colorway we're going to be getting into is this light bone pair, which I think was the first colorway released in the United States. And it's very simple. You got this black upper, most of it is black, the TPU cage, as well as the leather panels. And then you have this very light gray color on the mudguard. I mean, it's super clean. You got this two-toned upper. I would say, at least for me, it's my least favorite colorway out of the four. I did tell you guys that the ankle collars on these are made out of like a fleece material. And I've already noticed that there's some lint from my socks that keep getting stuck on this fleece upper. So that's why I was saying I do prefer that the shoe had a mesh upper, but instead for some reason they gave us this fleece one on the men's pairs. No difference here when it comes to sizing. Went with my true size and these fit perfectly, and they fit very comfortably as well. If you have been complaining about Jordan 4 comfort in the past, then I do suggest you guys to give these a shot. My honest opinion of this shoe is that I don't really understand why it has gotten so much hate online from what I've seen. I guess people really just have this one idea of what a 4 is supposed to look like. But personally, I think this is a great attempt by Jordan Brand to give us something new. And it's not something totally new. It's still giving us those retro vibes, but it's just been reinterpreted in a different way. I would say this is more of like a summertime Jordan 4. I can't lie, I like these a lot, especially this fossil colorway, I'm gonna call it. And I'm a fan of the price point as well, because I'll be honest, Jordan 4s, in my opinion, right now are quite overpriced for what they're selling for. But these at $150, I think are pretty decent value. Do let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this model? Have you guys given it a shot? As I said, the links to these shoes can be found in the description of this video. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram. That's where I am the most active. And I'm dropping content on there pretty much daily, especially if you're looking for some how to style content, you can find it there. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and for supporting this channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.